Hello, good morning, friends. How are you today? Today I am going to discuss in German prepositions. Today we are learning German. We are learning German prepositions. Prepositions are those who give an extra information to a sentence. For example, I am going to school for studying. So I am going to school is a complete sentence, but extra information is given by for studying. Now, this is just a concept of English prepositions. Now, when we discuss when how do we recognize which preposition to use where? Very difficult part of grammar in German in any other language. Prepositions are supposed to be. Personally, I think it is very difficult to understand which preposition to use. We are learning prepositions. We are learning English science from in English, India. We are learning since childhood, so we know what preposition to use in English. But German is new for us, so it is very difficult to understand which preposition to use. More of reading, more of exposure to the language will give you a small sense, a big sense to understand which preposition is to be used. Now we have four cases in German: nominative, accusative, dative, genitive. There are no prepositions in the nominative case, which is subject part. So we discussed today prepositions, and we today also discuss the two-way prepositions. This video is basically to make you understand the two-way prepositions. In spite of that, I will also explain you in short the prepositions and their role, how they are used and how we use them in the language. So first we have some accusative prepositions. For example, fear, for, without, honor, gegen, against, at, around. Okay. Then we have dative prepositions: mit, von, nach, in, auf. Okay. Now these prepositions, how do we recognize which preposition to be used? What does it depend on? It depends basically on the nouns, the verbs, and many other cases. But basically, if you want to start studying, you should look at the nouns which take those particular preposition and some concept. For example, buying or selling, or buying something, or for doing something for somebody. You say fear. I am doing this for you. Ich mache es für dich. In front of the accusative preposition, as I discussed before, there will be the accusative case followed. Accusative preposition will be followed by the accusative pronoun. Now we have the dative case. We take a common preposition mit. In front of mit, there will be the dative form of the entity. It is the article or pronoun or any other thing that will be guided as per the mit, as per the dative case. So we take two examples today. Fear is a pure accusative preposition. Just one example I have given. We will discuss preposition later in more details in the video, because there are so many cases, so many things need to be thought about to understand which preposition exactly is to be used there. Besides this understanding this concept, you need to practice a lot. You saw lots of exercises which will be given to you in the class if you are joining our class. Very good notes we will provide you, so prepositions will not be a problem for you. Understand? So we have learned fear is an accusative preposition, mit is a dative preposition, and we also have genitive prepositions, wegen, trotz, that we are not discussing today. Today we are discussing accusative and dative. So we said fear is an accusative preposition and mit is a dative preposition. Now there is a case what happens in German. There is a unique concept in the German language. It is the Wechselpräposition or the two-way preposition, which means certain prepositions will give you both the cases, accusative as well as dative. And to mix it, two-way prepositions, we have in, we have auf, we have an, and many other prepositions. We need not see the list of those prepositions. We will take just one preposition in today and understand the concept. Most of the time what happens is, when there is a motion verb, we learn, what did we learn before? Yes, for accusative prepositions will be followed by the accusative form. Dative prepositions will be followed by the dative form. So what happens in the accusative form or the dative form, we understood. Now in, an and other, auf and such other verbs follow both the cases. Now how to understand which case it is using for the particular time. So remember this, guys. Verbs, first thing is verbs, gehen, fahren, fliegen. Motion verbs will always follow the accusative case in the preposition which is the Wechsel preposition. Cases in where there are cases change. I mean the form changes. Accusative case is followed in certain verbs. What happens is, in the accusative I am saying I am going to the supermarket. So ich gehe is a verb. Gehen is a motion verb, so it will always follow the accusative form. For the Wechsel preposition, certain list of preposition which follow the Wechsel rule, two-way prepositions, gehen will be followed by the accusative form. So ich gehe in den Supermarkt. Ich gehe in den Supermarkt. But if I am using some other verb other than the motion verb, it should be ich bin im Supermarkt, in them. in here behaves as a dative preposition. Ich gehe in den Supermarkt. Ich bin im Supermarkt. So in is a two-way preposition. When we have motion verbs, it will follow the accusative form. In preposition will follow the accusative form. If there is no motion verb other than the motion verb, then it will follow the dative form. That is the concept for the two-way preposition. So in is a very good example. We have an. Let us take one example with an. Ich bin am Bahnhof. I am at the railway station. But ich fahre, ich fliege ans Meer. An dem Bahnhof, am Bahnhof, an das Meer, ans Meer. An has become the accusative form in this case. Now, you have understood. Basically what the verb will tell you. Accusative follow करना है या dative follow करना है. Depending on the preposition. The list has to be a two-way preposition. In, an, of. Only this preposition take both the cases. Okay. Now, let me make you understand one more important concept. So, how do you understand whether to use vexel or whether to use dative or accusative? See, there is a change in location. For example, you are going from outside to the supermarket. So you are changing location. You are outside and going to the supermarket. Outside is the street, and from there you are going to the other place. Change of location will tell you that the accusative form is to be followed. For example, one more example. Preposition is on. For example, this is the chair. For example, there is a chair there. I am standing here. I am jumping. Take an example verb springen. I am jumping on my own place location. So springa, so it will be dative form. Location change nahi hai. But if I go jumping and change the location towards chair, change the location, so it will follow the accusative form. Of course, you have to by heart some verbs to understand which vexel preposition follows the accusative form. But this concept is also important. Springen. Change the location will tell you that it is accusative. I am on the Bahnhof, but I am from the taxi or walking from outside, I am coming to the Bahnhof, and it is the accusative form. Change the location will tell you that it is in the accusative form. For example, swimming. If I am swimming inside the schwimmer im Schwimmbad, I am swimming in the swimming pool. But on the outside of if I am outside the swimming pool and outside is the area, from there I am going swimming like this. Inside the water, there is change in location from the surrounding area of the pool and into the pool. The schwimmer im Schwimmbad is schwimmer ins Schwimmbad. I am going from there inside. Change in the location. That will tell you that the vexel preposition will follow the accusative form. Ich springe auf dem Stuhl. Ich springe auf den Stuhl. Directly jumping and going on the chair. Okay. So you should understand what is the vexel preposition. That is my main aim behind this. I'll make more videos on prepositions. As I told you, prepositions will depend on the noun, the verb, and many other cases. But most of the times, it is easy to by heart the verbs, which is followed by a particular verb. Interessieren für, entspannen mit, erzählen von. That will be discussed later. But vexel preposition understood. Follow the motion verbs. First the motion verbs, then the jumping concept, and by heart the verbs, which are two-way prepositions. For is pure accusative. In is a two-way preposition, and examples I am giving. Mid is a pure dative preposition, which will follow always a dative form. But in, auf, an, and other verb prepositions will follow both the cases, which I have discussed today. So thank you for listening to me today. Vielen Dank all of you. Thank you Hermes Infosoft. Thank you Kunal. Thank you Swaroop. Vielen Dank.